Seriously?
Hey people, and welcome to this Ork Range Review with myself, 6+ Stevo. What have we done so far? We've done GW, obviously. We then covered Forge World, and then in the last one we covered the first of the third parties, Cromlech, probably the most well-known of all the Ork third-party suppliers. So that was a popular video. But now we're coming to you with someone that hasn't been on the scene so long, a company who I'm very familiar and very close with, and a company that needs to be brought to your attention if you're not already aware of it. But chances are, if you're watching this video now, you're probably already aware of this guy and this company and the stuff he makes. And the quantity of stuff he makes. And if you don't, then prepare yourself, because you're going to see some cool stuff. You're going to see a lot of stuff, a lot of cool stuff. And your wallet is likely to be crying by the end of it, because you're going to want some of this stuff. So I don't know why you're watching this video. If you're just watching it because you're already a fan and you just want to see my take on it, or if you're watching it because you're aware of him but you've been sitting on the fence, you don't know, or this is completely new to you, then you're going to see some good stuff. So yeah, without further ado, let's take a look and see what we've got. So here we are. Enough DACA. Models are made to order. Please allow 4 to 6 weeks for orders to ship. So this is the American website, and ships to anywhere in America and I believe Canada. But if you are a UK customer, then fret not, because there is a site that Gearguts works with and sells their stuff through them, and they are called Fully Cycled. And there is also a store for Australians, because we know how you Australians always get screwed in the pricing for a lot of these things. And Gearguts, you know, he's thought of everything and provided a way that Australian customers can get hold of this stuff and not pay through the nose for it, and not pay through the nose for the postage costs from the States. So that's really cool. And I'll tell you what, before we get into looking at the range, let's look at this into a bit of detail, because we've got what have we got? Shop miniatures. So we got new releases: Gearguts Mekshop miniatures, Fleshcrafters Coven miniatures, new STL downloads, and Gearguts Mekshop STL downloads. Here we are, helpful links. So it talks all about the shipping, contact us, and licensed international mech shops. So as you can see, we've got Australia, OTP, Terrain and Miniatures sell and stock Gearguts Mech Shop stuff, and in the United Kingdom we've got Fully Cycled. I haven't checked, but I would be pretty sure that the United Kingdom website will ship most likely to anywhere in Europe. Yeah, so I think for all, I imagine that's the place for all European customers. But it says we are still looking for a Canadian printer shop and are open to other regions not listed. So there you go. Even if you're in a part of the world where this is going to be difficult for you to get them, they're working on it. And it's a growing company. Like I say, this company's a lot younger than companies like Cromlech, but no less impressive. And yeah, we've waffled on about all the little details. Oh no, there is one more thing to say, actually. Stick around to the end of the video, because for you American customers, I have a rather special discount code which you can obtain exclusively for you guys. It's going to be valid for a long time, and it's going to get you some money off. And yeah, we'll get into that at the end. Stay watching and we will get into the special offer. So let's get into this. We'll go straight for new releases, shall we? So let's scroll down here. Now I'm not going to look at every single item. When I did the GW one, when I did the Forge World one, we pretty much looked at every single thing they sell. For Cromlech, it was a large range, so we didn't do that. We picked out some highlights, and that is very much what I'm going to do at this. This won't be a full-on comprehensive look at absolutely everything he does, because then it's going to be like a 10-hour video. So we're going to try and keep this video to around about an hour. But yeah, let's just get straight into it. We've got Mini Goblin Tank C. It says from $14.99. So let's take a look at these fellas. These are cute. I have already, actually, I'll show you a sneak peek. I already have one of Gearguts Grot tanks, just there, as you can see. That is not a Gearguts turret, because I've been doing a bit of converting and kit bashing, but the body of that tank, and as you can see, is a cute little thing. I'll go into more detail on this in a future video. But now, let's just take a look at all the different ones he does. So we've got this cute little fella here with a Scorcher, also got a shooter on there. It's got the little star, the little Grot Revolution star. I love how it's got the checks moulded into it. Let's bring it up a bit closer so you can get a better look. But yeah, like little details like how it's got the checks. So you haven't got to do any freehand. They're on there already, same as the star. Rivet work is lovely. Look at all the bolts and rivets. You're going to have a great time. A little bit of highlighting on these, really going to bring this miniature out. And it's just cute as a button. It really is. Gearguts Grot tanks, yeah, the one overriding word for these is cute. They are adorable. This one armed with like a Tesla gun, like that's cool. That is cool. So I presume this would be like the custom Mega Blaster sort of variant. Really cool little turret. I love the sort of bit coming off the side there, a little bit unorthodox. Again, different tracks, really cool. Bits bolted on at the front. These are so cool, man. After having just one, ordering one of the Gearguts Grot tanks, I just wanted to order one, try it out, see what they were like, order some other bits. I've got to get more of these, man. They're so cool. They're so cool. This one, it's got the Grot Zuka on there. You see the cannon filled with all the scrap ready to fire out. That's a lovely little touch. We've got diagonal checks on there. Really cool looking tracks. These tracks look cool because these tracks look like you could flip them over and have them the other way as well. So I like that. That's very cool. And you'll be able to do that with these. The way these Grot tanks come, they come, at least the one I've got, comes just in simple sections. So you've got the body section, you've got the tracks that are just all moulded, just one piece tracks. So you literally just get the two tracks and you stick them to the body. And that's the main body done. And then stick the turret on the top. And that's it. You're good to go. Really simple. So yeah, I'd see no reason why you couldn't flip them tracks over. It's very cool. And there's a selection of them all together. But the thing about these is that you can mix and match with these. So you could swap the turrets around, and we'll come out of this now and we'll see like to the ordering thing. So you've got the different weapon options. So you can have A, B or C. And it helpfully shows you which one you're ordering. There you go. So yeah, they're $15 each, which I think is a fair price. They're quality, you know, little miniatures. They look really cool, and yeah, but look, you can get all four of them, so that is saving you money as well. So obviously ordering them separately, that would run you $60. This is coming to $55, so he knocks a bit off for bulk purchases. That's nice to see. We always like to see a bit of value discount when you're buying multiple things. And yeah, you get them, and they don't have to look like this. You can mix them around, swap the tracks around and everything. So yeah, real cool, real cool. And this is, as you can see, Mini Goblin Tank C. So there are at least two other batches of Goblin tanks, which I'm sure we'll get to. We've got the Mega tank here. Very cool. Takes its cue from the Forge World one. Similar design. It's got that very nautical theme. Again, we've got the Grot Revolution star on here, several places. It's cool, man. It's really cool, and I would hazard so €50 for $50, which would equate to about €50. without being able to look at it right now, I would hazard a guess that that's probably cheaper than the Forge World one. Looted tank C. Oh, if only we could use looted tanks in the game, eh? But, but you don't have to use this as a looted tank. You could use this very easily as a battle wagon or something. Cool, huh? Cool. It's got a bit of a sort of a Land Raider-y vibe to it. You almost think it sort of looks like a looted Land Raider. Just brutish. You'll see this from all of Gearguts' range. It's got a very brutish, crude quality to it, which is a very orky quality. Everything's very sort of boxy and not discreet, shall we say. There's not that sort of Eldar finesse and elegant design. It's big, brutish and powerful looking, and that's just the sort of thing we like as orcs. So yeah, it's got a very aggressive sort of look to it, this thing. These miniatures are solid as well, by the way. This isn't like with a GW with like a plastic kit. You're dealing with resin here, big thick resin, and like this tank would usually be like panels that would sort of stick together. I am guessing and I'm betting that large portions of this are just big solid lumps, so they've got some real weight to them. They feel very substantial, you know, which is I think adds to them as well. It feels like you've got a quality product, you know, when you've got that weight of something. They don't feel like they could break too easy, which is definitely a positive. So we'll come out of that one. What else have we got new on the scene? So we've got another looted tank here, which is the shield. Can't even speak. The shield wall tank. Yeah, lovely. Let's have a quick look at that. I said I won't look at everything. So far, I'm looking at everything. Yeah, big sort of Vindicator looking jobby. Look at that plough on the front. That doesn't look like any building or rubble is going to stand in this thing's way. Bear in mind, guys, if you're already liking what you're seeing so far, we are literally scratching the surface. We have barely scratched the paintwork on this. We've got some Goblin gunners here. $19. Looks like you get 10 grots on parade, including their commander. So this is cool. Very World War I looking. They've got their tin hats. These look very blood axey, don't they? You've got the little thinking cap on the grot leader there. These look like highly trained grots. At least at least they're acting highly trained. Let's read what it says here. The Bruisers are massive, bulky creatures and not known for their dexterity. Instead, they employ their smaller cousins, the Goblins, to do their fine detail task. Goblins, being rebellious creatures, often need a firm-handed Bruiser to keep them in line. This 11 model kit includes 11 Goblins armed with rifles and snide disdain. Yes, they do have snide disdain. So that's cool. We've got this thing here, Bruiser Prime. Yeah, that's something, isn't it? Look at this chopper, that big cleaver thing, and he's got his rotating Gatling cannon on the thing. It's got a bit of a, I don't know, a bit of a Iron Man kind of vibe going on here, but this thing is packed to the grills with Daka. We've got rockets on his back, we've got guns on the shoulders, we've got a big Gatling cannon there. Yeah, he's cool. Not sure what you'd use him as. Let's see what it says about it. An ancient figure from the distant past. The Bruiser Prime is a great unstoppable beast armed with blast weapons and armoured in massive, hulking suits of solid metals. The Bruiser Prime is a true Lord of War. So there you go. I don't know what he'd be accounts as. Possibly Gaz. Goblin Tinbot Boss. So we've got a killer can here, with a grot sticking out the top like the bot. That's nice. Look at that. Now These are cool because you've got some options here as well. These are fully posable. So you see these ball joints on the arms? All the legs have these ball joints. So all the legs are nicely posable. The arms are very posable. You can flip them round. So you could have the claw and the gun switched round. You can have them on different sides. So that's really cool. You get a full range of posability. You can remove the Goblin commander if you don't want him. You can close the lid. Then you can use that bit on one of your tanks or something. But yeah, there you go. Very cool. Very cool indeed. You know how much I love my killer cans. And yeah, it would be cool to have one of these leading them into battle. Yeah, he's slick. We like him. Hang on, what's happened there? It's flipped me. There we are. We've got the Mecca Walker B. Let's take a look at this fella. So this is your Mecca Dread, and I'm gonna say it, and this is high praise indeed. I prefer this to Forge Worlds 1. I really do. I love. There's some design cues here that I really like. It's immediately recognisable as Orky, as a Death Dread or a Killer Can. You put this in with your Games Workshop Death Dreads and Killer Cans, he's going to fit right at home. It's got that iconic sort of, dustbin thing, the way the front with the bolts and everything, it's got that GW feel to it, and I think that's a massive plus. We've got a lot of third parties, and as you're going to see as I go through these ranges, a lot of things have got their own style. I discussed on the last one Cromlech heads, and how for me I'm not really a fan of them because I don't think they tie in too well, but I think a lot of their stuff, it does tie in well. But this is a perfect example of that, as in it's something different. It's offering something different to Games Workshop or Forge World, but it's not so different that it's going to clash with the rest of your stuff. This is going to just slot into your army. If you're working on a dread mob like myself, this is kind of a must buy, isn't it? I mean, you want this thing in your dread mob. He's just lovely looking. So this one's armed with the 2 claws, and you've even got, like, I love the little sort of praying mantis style drills at the side. That's so cool. Really cool looking face on it, and lots of space as well, quite plain in areas, which allows you to, you could add some glyphs and stuff here. You could do some freehand work, and I like that. You could add spikes and things to the shoulder pad if you wanted to. That's really cool, and again, highly posable. The legs for these things come in about 3 parts, so you can position the top bit and the bottom bit and the foot and the weight. It's all ball and socket joints as well, so you get that perfect mobility out of them. So you could have this guy running, you could have him sort of squatting, throwing a kick, you could do whatever. Again, you could switch the arms round. Yeah, it's highly posable, large as well. This thing stands just a little bit higher than like a GW Gorknaut. He's a big, imposing, nasty looking figure on the table. He's just bloody lovely. Look at him. Absolutely gorgeous. We've got the Lucky Bruiser Scrap Gunners. So I'm guessing that these are most likely looters or possibly flash gits. Let's have a look. I mean, I think you could probably use them as either, to be honest. Bruisers, hulking bestial figures of let me read that again. Bruisers, hulking bestial figures built of thick bones, massive muscles, and tiny brains, renowned for their ability to dish out physical punishment and take outlandish wounds before finally suffering their untimely fate. Unlike the gun nuts, who serve a very similar role, the scrap gunners mount their weapons upon their hulking shoulders and lay down their long-range fire support in a rather similar fashion. So, yeah, I think from that description, they're basically looters. But they look cool, man. They look cool. yeah, I like these guys. The helmets and everything on them are really cool. Armor, love it. They're really armored up. Yeah, they look really nice, really nice. And these guns look cool. And well, look, what can we say about these compared to GW looters? They're going to be easier to paint. That's for damn sure. Because you don't have this that sort of framework that goes around. Looters could be a real pig. If you're going to want to get to all of those parts and you're going for high detail, you're probably going to want to do looters in sub-assemblies, which is a pain in the butt when you have to do that. So yeah, these just holding them in a more traditional sort of shoulder-mounted, I think it's going to make them a lot easier to paint, and they've got, like I said, they've got a real cool look to them, very cool look. And that is so $20 for them, and that is $20 for 5 of them. So you get a squad of 5. Yeah, they're cool, very cool. I don't know how they scale compared to like GW boys. I would say from my experience with Gearguts, a lot of the stuff seems to be scaled up a bit. So if you like to, get the boys looking a bit bigger and a bit burlier, these tend to be Gearguts tend to be a good place to go. And we've got bits as well. Bits is cool. So we've got we've got some heads here. We've got the Bruiser heads, lucky Bruiser heads. Rather cool looking helmets. They would be cool to represent like Ard boys and stuff. Yeah, I like that. I like that. And cheap as well. $5, $1 a head. Can't say fairer than that, can you? And next one. Here's one you may have seen, because on another channel, the War Mistress. I might pop a link in the corner if you haven't seen her channel yet. Go and check it out. She's doing some good podcast things and that, and it's good stuff, interesting topics she's covering. But she recently painted up one of these for the competition that we hold on our Discord. Link down in the description, as always, to go and check out the Discord. But she entered the Deathsember challenge, and she painted up one of these in Death Skull colours, and did a fantastic job. And I was the judge for that competition, and she was the winner I picked, because it was a beautiful paint job. And I think what she really did was she really brought out what you could do with this miniature, and brought out the best in it. Because this is cool, seeing it like this in its form, all grey, is very cool. But I think sometimes once you've seen something painted, it really brings out its potential and what you can get out of this kit. And I think she did a fantastic job on it, and it's a fantastic miniature. And as you can see, it's got that same big, bulky, boxy, crude kind of look to it that Gearguts vehicles are famous for. It just looks big and chunky and mean, and it looks like it's going to take a pounding before it goes down. It's just very cool. It's a lovely miniature. And $20. I mean, come on, that's an absolute bargain. That is a steal. That's a damn sight cheaper than a GW Death Dread. And now it's completely up to you which you prefer. This is a different look. So as you can see, compared to the Mecca Walker earlier, that would be the kind of thing I would go for, because it's got that Death Dread look to it. But if you're after something different, a different style of Death Dread, something that's going to maybe look a little bit more imposing, then it's done in a more traditional kind of mech style, but it's still, although it's very different, it's still got that orky look. And it's cool. It's just that, it's that added bit of variety. You put this on the table, people are going to ask about it. It's going to draw attention. They're going to go, what the hell's that? You go, oh yeah, that's my Death Dread, and it's this thing. And they're going to be like, that's so cool. Where did you get that from? The third-party miniatures and stuff like this, as well as like conversions and things, it's just a great way to get noticed on the table. And you're going to be able to put this thing on the table with pride, I think. Lovely. Absolutely lovely. Okay, so what have we got here? Lucky Bruiser Tank Hunters. So my favourite, the old Tank Busters. Let's check these guys out. Again, got that same helmet on and stuff. There are different looking heads, by the way. We'll get into that. He's got sort of, as you can see, represents, there's lots of different styles to go for. So these guys all armed with their rocket launchers. Yeah, these are cool design on the rocket launchers. I like that. It's different. As you can see, it's kind of like a traditional kind of pistol kind of design. Almost looks like a shotgun. But you go in, you've got this big sort of opening at the front here with the two rockets, and you've got the laser sight or the targeter sight on there. Yeah, cool. And I like the way it's sort of two-handed. It's got the sort of supporting mount on there, so you sort of hold it like that and fire. It's got a unique look, and it's cool. And again, you just see these guys armoured up. They look big, they look brutish, they look mean, they look serious. These look like serious orcs. Yeah, very cool. Very, very cool. And a unique style to orc heads as well. But again, as you can see, so these for me, while not quite like GW Orks, I feel like they're close enough that they would kind of tie in. I think you'd have to mix them in if you wanted to, unless you wanted to replace them all and use all this stuff rather than GW stuff, which you could do. But if you were mixing this stuff in with an existing range, I don't think these are going to clash massively. I don't think they're going to look like a different race, which I think a lot of third-party heads from other companies do tend to do that. Now, do I like them as much as GW heads? Possibly not. I like the GW heads, and anything that deviates from them too far, I don't like. I don't think these really deviate. But do you know what I will say? I was going to say that the Gearguts heads sort of lack a little bit of detail. They've got a great design, but they just don't quite have the same level of detail that you would get from like Games Workshop or Forge World, particular. Their heads and stuff. But these recent ones he's been bringing out, I feel like they're more detailed. It's hard to tell from these small pictures without sort of having one up close. But we'll look at the what was the other guys we had? Where's the? Yeah, here we are. Let's take a look at them. Yeah, these heads, they do look a little bit more. In the past, I think a lot of the Gearguts heads, they've been fairly sort of smooth. You know, it's got that classic orc face and shape, but everything's very sort of clean and rounded, and it's sort of blocky, and you haven't got the sort of finer details of sort of creases and sort of scars, and you know what I mean, that sort of textured sort of detail. But as you can see, I'm looking at these chins here, and I seem to see a bit of texture and stuff there, and there's certainly a lot of detail in the teeth and stuff, and you see it around the eyes and that. So I feel like he's getting better with orc heads. I've always thought Gearguts, the strong element of Gearguts stuff is in his vehicles and weapon designs. When it comes to more natural, organic things, like I said, they've got a different design. And they require a little bit more in sort of texture and detail. But like I say, looking at these, and the hands particularly, you can certainly see the detail on the hands, like each individual knuckles and stuff. They look detailed. You see the lines there, the sort of veins and the tendons and stuff in your hands. So yeah, it looks like his skin and texture and stuff like that. His amazing design on vehicles and mechanical things is. It's right there with the natural stuff, the fleshy kind of stuff. Organic, that's the word I'm looking for. Looks like that's catching up with it, so that's a big plus. A big plus. So there you go. We've looked at one page so far. One page of 24. So let's have a look. This is supposed to be going in sort of newness order. Right, look. So we've got a boss here. Cool looking boss. It's got a combi Scorcher and claws. We've got some Bruiser assault gunners, basically shooter boys. I'm going to skip past them though and go to Mecca Walker B. And I'm going to say this right here, right now. This is my favourite Gearguts miniature. It's fucking beautiful. Look at this thing. From the first moment I saw this, it was just instantly my favourite. Now, this is a replacement for the Mega Dread that Forge World produce. A popular miniature. A lot of people like the miniature. Personally, I think it's a little bit busy. The feet in particular, I'm not a fan of. And this is all personal opinion, so you may love the miniature, and if you do, more power to you. You're not wrong. It's literally just my taste. I've found it was almost too detailed. I felt that when you see it with the Games Workshop Killer Cans and Death Dreads and stuff, it doesn't look like it fits, because they're kind of a lot more simple in their design, and they don't have the full level of detail and bits, and like I said, it just looks a bit busy. And when you put them together, it kind of almost looks like a miniature from a completely different range, which it kind of is, I guess, but still GW. So this for me looks more GW than Forge World's one. It's just that this visor here, this whole sort of shape, this, you look at this instantly, even if you've never seen this thing before, you look at it, you know what it is. That's a Death Dread, that's a Mega Dread, you know, you just know exactly what it is. But it's still got that Gearguts feel to it as well. Everything's big and chunky and brutal looking. You've got big thick armor plates. You've got this badass looking kill saw here that just looks so good. The legs with these skull kneecaps. These legs again come in joins, so you can position the leg that those sort of teeth close up. It's just a cool little touch that makes it look like this thing could sort of run across the battlefield and like knee you in the face, you know, do like a flying knee with those jaws and the spikes sticking out. It's got the big rattler cannon there, and the boom bits. It's got the boom bits on the side, which are a cool little touch. But yeah, it's poseable, much like the Mecca Walker. And the Mecca Walker, I think, is just as cool. This one just snatches it for me. I like the sort of visor look. There's something cool about that. But both are really cool. Both are really cool. You kind of want both. You've got like the torches, or the lenses up here, and even the detail of they're cracked. They've been shot out with bullets, so the lenses are cracked and stuff, which is a lovely little bit of sort of bullet damage here. It's all ball and socket joins. So again, you can have this guy kneeling, running, kicking, climbing over stuff, stomping a Primaris Lieutenant into the ground. You could have some fun with this thing. Nice and plain areas as well. The front here, nice and plain. You could put a glyph there of like whatever clan you're representing. You could hang adornments off the groin and stuff. Glyphs here, battle damage. So there's enough sort of blank space there for you to add on your own little details and things, and you know, change this. The arms can be switched around. Again, stands a little bit taller than a Gorkanaut. This thing, it's the best miniature Gearguts do. It just is. It's my opinion, but it just is. It just is. Look at it. It's just, who wouldn't want this in their army? It's so good. $70, so it's not cheap, but again, it's going to be cheaper than Forge World by quite a margin, I'd imagine. Because you don't even get the weapons, do you, when you buy it from Forge World? Like, you got to buy the weapons separately and bolt them on. So yeah, this is going to be a lot cheaper. Probably a little bit bigger, or around the same size, but just cooler looking as well, in my opinion. Gearguts, you beat Forge World at their own game there. Top marks on that. That gets the Stevo seal of approval. What else have we got? More Bruisers, Shock Troopers, there, your Slugger Chopper Boys, Armoured Bruisers. So we got some mega knobs here. And they are mega indeed. So they're all armed with the custom shooter, and they've got like the kill saw, kill claw things there. These look like sort of breacher teams, don't they? Like they're going to sort of rampage their way in. Like they're like sort of siege warfare kind of mega knobs. And even look on the back. Look on the back. They've got like the sort of big barrel with chains around it and stuff. That's really cool. Almost looks like they've got winches on their back, like real sort of mining equipment kind of thing. Like, yeah. These again, they're completely different from GW ones, but you look at them, you know what they are, even though they're different. You put them on the table, no one's going to be confused and be like, what do they represent then? You look, oh right, Ork mega knobs, okay, because they've got that look, but they're all so different. It's really cool. I think it can be a real challenge for a lot of these third-party companies to design alternatives to GW, because they have that difficulty with the challenge of trying to make something unique, but also something that's recognisable as that. So you've got to sort of take the design cues from them and kind of put your own spin and twist on it. And also, you know, watch out for like copyright laws and things, you know, and GW sending you cease and desist letters. I spoke about her earlier. Warboss War Mistress, we've got right here. That here she is. She has been immortalised already. Look at this. I wasn't even aware of this, but that's cool. She looks very blood axey there, but she's got a gas mask on. So I know he's going to have gone through some lore and stuff with her army, her character. So this is very cool. Little squig feathers on the shoulders, also wearing the thinking cap. So that is a deadly squig man, because that's a thinking squig. Really cool. Got the big power claw there. Cool pose. Yeah, that's badass. That gas mask looks awesome. That is seriously cool. Seriously cool indeed. So yeah, look, Warboss War Mistress, right? Let's let me come out of this quickly, because let's talk about war bosses. So what have we got? We've got different sections here. So I will say as well, actually, that the Gearguts Mekshop website is constantly being updated. And what you're seeing now, it is in progress work. This website is constantly being worked on and refined, easier to navigate, getting quality pictures and stuff. So keep an eye on this website, because it's going to get better. The range is going to get bigger, because Gearguts is producing stuff every single month without fail. Yeah, Bruiser miniatures, Guard miniatures, Crusader miniatures, conversion bits, terrain, base toppers. So we've got a lot of different things here. Now, what I'm looking for in particular, though, is war bosses. So, I wonder if we've got a search bar here. Have we? We have. Let's search and see if we can find them. So there's something we've got to touch on. Where are we? There we are. There's the search bar. So we're going to type in Warboss without messing up the capital letters. God, I'm good at this, and I'm sure that worked anyway. There you go. It's not capital sensitive. Yes, because here we are. So you may remember a little while ago, I did a video showing that I myself had been immortalised. And this is where you can get me from. And here I am in all my brutish, awesome glory. Yes, there is a miniature of me. So I better get that out of the way right away, because otherwise you're going to know this is going to be a slightly biased video, aren't you? But this is the coolest thing ever, man. It still amazes me that that's me right there. That's me. You can see the similarity. So he's got the eyebrow stud, he's got the lip ring, we've got the 6+ logo going on there, we got it up here. He's armed with his dead shiny shooter. He's got a big quad barreled shooter, big ass power claw. He's brutal, he's bad tempered, he's savage, and yeah, there he is. I'm actually working on my very own one now, just here, getting some colours on there. Yeah, but that's it. So if you are fans of 6+ Stevo, and you want, oh, the only thing missing in my army is to have a 6+ Stevo to put in my army, look no further, people. But yeah, so amazingly, Gearguts offered to design me and create me. He used the artwork for the Warboss channel, link in the description below, of my caricature as a design, as a blueprint of this, and then basically made the 3D sculpt from it. And yeah, it's so cool. But I'm not the only one. As we've already seen, he's done Warboss Mistress. And we've got other well-known Ork YouTubers as well. This is kind of a list of who's who, It's kind of the seal of approval now. You know you've made it when Gearguts has made a miniature of you. That's when you know you're having some success on your YouTube channel. And we've got Warboss Poke Cactus here, the young whippersnapper. There he is. We've got Warboss Dyson Demons. As you can see, you've got STL downloads as well. So not only can you buy the miniatures, but if you've got the 3D printer, you can get the STL downloads, which is very cool. Also on those STL downloads, Gearguts has a Patreon page. I will share links to everything in the description of this video, guys. I will share links to everything, but there's a Patreon page where you can support him, and that gives you all kinds of special access to stuff, early access to stuff, things at discount prices, all the STL files, so you can print them off yourself for a fraction of the cost of buying them. We've got here, so look, we've got the 4 Warbosses right here. Let's take a look. All 4 of us have been immortalised in miniature form, and there we are. We've got myself, the handsome one of the bunch. We've got Dim, the yin to my yang at the back there, the runt herd looking fella with his grots on the back, looking mean and savage, and just a bit above their station probably, the little grots. We've got Skarner, good old Plastic Crack Gaming there, represented from his Blood Axe boss, and he's got his little holographic display of one of his knobs, taking orders from him and that, and everyone who's seen that has just been like, that's so cool. Like, everyone's like, oh, that is badass, man. So yeah, that's really cool. And then we've got the wild card over here, the unpredictable Dreadwar Gaming in all his glorious freebooter colours there. His pirate hat and cutlass and his fistful of teeth, showing off like any flash git would. So yeah, there you go, all 4 of us represented. And I mean, it really doesn't get much cooler than that, people. It really doesn't. It's so cool. And as you can see, you've got the 4 Warbosses in regular scale. You got the big bosses in larger scale, and then we've got the STL download for them as well, so you can download them and get them cheaper. There's Captain Dread there. 28. I want to see. Let's check if Dread is more expensive than me. He is 28 quid. How much am I? Also 28 quid. I think you could probably charge a bit more for me. I think maybe Dread's price could knock down a bit, I think if you're looking at the value. But yeah, there you go. So that's just really cool, man. And there are other YouTubers. They haven't all shown up on that search, but we might find them as we scroll through the pages. But there are other Warbosses available from other channels as well. I know we've got Brack the Warboss, we've got Gearguts himself on here, loads of stuff. But let's get back to the thing. So we've seen a lot of the Bruisers already. Let's go into Guard Miniatures and see what we've got in here. So this is like for the Emperor. So what we've got here is basically look at these fellas. So if you want to do a different twist on Orks, and you want to use Ork miniatures, but you want to sort of represent them with like guard rules and things, they do this kind of thing. So but having said that, there's no reason why you couldn't use these guys as regular mega knobs. But yeah, so these guys could play the part of Ogrins or something, couldn't they? Which I think is what they're designed to do. But yeah, really cool. If you were doing like a Blood Axe army and you wanted to be more sort of organised and militaristic than even like the Blood X stratagems and clan traits allow you to be. You could use like Codex, like Imperial Guard rules, and then run these guys. Or you can run these guys just within an Orc army. You know, no reason why you couldn't mix these guys in and mess about them. But you've got plasma guns, melter guns, grenade launchers, flamethrowers, but you could use these guys as burner boys if you wanted to. Cool looking commander there, again with the gas mask. This fella here, Priest Guard Boss for the Emperor. He would make quite a cool pain boy, actually. That would make quite a cool pain boy. He's got just a ridiculously massive chainsword there that is pretty much bigger than him. He's got his little candles lit on his shoulder and the book and a friend. That's cool. So yeah, if you've got like a specific kind of theme in mind for your orcs, look at this guy, old guard boss, that would make quite a cool knob with war banner. Yeah, some good shit there. So yeah, kind of Imperial Guard themed orcs. But look at some of these vehicles as well. Battle tank, barbecue tank, and the guard transport. The barbecue tank is just a quality name for a vehicle. Again, look, reasonable prices on these. We've got heavy weapons crews, mortars, heavy machine guns, stuff. Yeah, good shit, man. Good shit. What else have we got here? Crusaders. We've done the Imperial Guard Orks. Now we're on Space Marine Orks. So, yeah. You want to use Space Marine rules? Or you just want them to look like Space Marines? Here you go. So maybe your Orks have been fighting Marines for so long they've looted all their armour and on their own. You get these fellas. Orky Space Marines. There you go. Let's get back into new releases. We'll pick a page at random, shall we? Let's. Well, we've gone to page 3. We want to stick to that. Look at this Bruiser boss. If you Warbosses, you've got a choice of Warbosses on this site, I'll tell you. He is packing some Daka there, isn't he? Savage. A mono wheel boss. This is a little bit different to the usual war boss on bike, eh? Think Star Wars and old General Grievous in his mono wheel vehicle. That's what this reminds me of. Yeah, cool, like a big hamster wheel thing. Going to be completely impractical. You're going to have to lean out the side to see where you're going. But yeah, very orky. That is cool. Superb. Shield wall tank. Look at the amount of Daka on this thing. Look at that. That's a whole lot of guns. Yeah, man, stuff. And it's cool he's putting the bases there so you get sort of a sense of the scale. That's very cool. Good idea. Don't know what base that is though, whether it's a 25 or a 32 or what. Some cool vehicles here. Mech Baby. Yeah, I don't think that's a baby, is it? He's big. He is big. A monstrous behemoth clad in excessive armour and absolutely bristling with weapons, the Mech Baby will easily stomp its way across any tabletop. It comes as a multi-part resin kit, letting you build it the way you want with plenty of upcoming options for customisation. The beast stands 11 inches tall. Whew. Huge kit. So yeah, he's a big boy. He's a stomper. And a very cool looking shoulder. Look at the size of that big energy weapon on his shoulder and that claw. He is one big mama. So you think of the size of that thing for the price. That ain't bad. He's pricey, but I'd say he's also very good value. Some more cool war bosses. Big mech on bike. That's a cool looking bike with those headlights. Custom force field on the back. Yeah, that's badass. Here's the main event. Let's just get straight on with it. Mech Grandpa. So we've seen the baby. This is old Grandpa. And it's an Ork Titan. Just for scale, there's one of the Bruisers down there, who are already themselves a fair bit chunkier than your GW boy. So yeah, that gives you a sense of the fucking scale. Look at this thing. Look at the amount of turrets and guns. It's like a battleship up there. And you've got all the underslung turrets and these massive Gatling cannons. Look at the fucking legs. Like one of the legs is like a stomper. That's like a stomper right there. You've got the walkways, balconies on the legs at the knees. Good grief, man. Look at this thing. Jeez. There's like a Gorkanaut type miniature there. That's the... Oh. It's fucking mahoosive. You could probably hold one of those guns and hold it like a real gun yourself. The granddaddy of all walkers, the Mech Grandpa arrives, absolutely covered in weapons, turrets and armour. The titanic construct dwarfs all others. Each arm ends in a massive cannon ready to rip apart entire battle lines. While its hull is barnacled with dozens upon dozens of turrets, it is ready to make its mark upon the battlefield. Standing just shy of 4 feet tall. Jeez. It's a small person. It's bigger than your kids. Fuck me. I've seen it all. That's it. That's the benchmark right there, isn't it? This is a massive miniature. Yeah, you're not joking, are you? That's just insane. That is mental. $4,000, mind you. $4,000 it's going to cost you for one of them. So only for the super rich or the super committed. But yeah, imagine this thing in a big apocalypse game. It would be the centerpiece, wouldn't it? You'd love to take this up against an Imperial Titan. You'd have to, there'll be homebrew rules for this. You'd have to do something, but like, yeah. Imagine bringing this thing to a tournament or something. It'd have to have its own seat on the plane. If you were flying or travelling, you know, you'd have 2 seats, one for you, one for the Titan. Where would you put this thing? Come home to the missus. Here, what I got? Like, flipping heck. It's ludicrous. It's ridiculous. It's insanely expensive, but it's absolutely brilliant. It is just quite simply stunning, and you simply are not going to find anyone else producing anything like that. Yeah, that's seriously expensive, man. That is cool. But yeah, if you are feeling a little bit flush, then there you go. That's how much it's going to set you back. $4,000. Might just be pocket money to some. Yeah, it's nuts. Costs more than my car. Blimey. We've got some more Goblin troopers here. We've got a Goblin commander being carried on a throne. Look at him. He has definitely got above his station. Must be one of Dim's lot. Got ideas of grandeur in there. This crown's got something to do with that. He's worn the old thinking cap and just got a little bit ahead of himself. But the Grots there, they think they're clever, see, rebelling, but they've just replaced one overlord for another because they're still slaves. But $10 there for that. That's cool. But it'd be a cool counts as. You could use that, like maybe like you could use that in like a grot army and use it as like your Warboss or a Weird Boy. I think that would make a really cool Weird Boy actually. Yeah, that's neat. We like that. Let's pick another page at random. Page 6. Look at this thing. Zeppelin copter. Big fucking flying fucking thing. Zeppelin hovercraft thing. Cool, you got bomb bays in there as well that you can load up with a bomb. Yeah, that's cool. You can have some fun decorating that. This would be called like a freebooter thing. Like a pirate ship looking thing. That's cool. Mega Dogosaurus bombs. Squig bombs to you and me. Check these fellas out. Look at this with the jaw open up like that. That's pretty cool. Nice. Looks like they got different. Yeah, oh, it's just showing their head at a different angle, I guess. It's got a tyre. It's got a fucking tyre in his mouth. Is it like a? Yeah, that one has as well. What are these then? Like Evil Sun, like Speed Freak bomb squigs. They've got like the wheel in the gob to like they can put that down and then wheel along. They've got like Heelys built into their mouths. That's mental. You could put that as like the house. That part there, housed over the front of like a bike, being like a squig head ornament on a bike. That would be cool. Yeah, 4 of them, $15. Unlucky goblins. Dead grots, basically. Oh, look at this, guys. Yeah, dead grots there. One of his head blown off. One's been wounded there badly. Got them there at school. Oh, he's being sucked into the shock attack gun, isn't he? Yeah, they're cool. Cool on some of your terrain and stuff. Had a few corpses and things laying around. That's cool. Tinbot veterans. Look at these. When it wants to. There we go. Nice. These, I don't know what scale these are, whether these could be, so they're Tinbots, so again they got the Rebel Star on there. These are like grots inside these, so I guess these are supposed to be like killer cans. Yeah, they probably had like a different take on killer cans, I would imagine. Or possibly no, these are mega knobs, aren't they? They've got the combi weapons. Well, that one has anyway. I don't know, depends on the scale of them. Let's have a look. Tinbot veterans. Clanking veterans, Tinbot veterans march their way forward in armoured boots. These goblins design match the equivalent of the armoured bruisers use it. Yeah, so they are basically a grot version of a mega knob. So if you want to do that true grot army, there are ways around it. Although you don't get some of these units that grots have, you can use the rules for mega knobs to run grot Tinbots, so you can have like a true grot themed army. Awesome. Big ass big mech in mega armor there with the KFF. That is definitely mega armor. Standing over the corpse of one of his comrades there by the look of it. Or that's the bust we've already seen. All vehicles, pick another page, go to page 8. A flying truck. Nothing. I don't get surprised anymore when I look at this page because it's just got everything. It's got a flying truck, as you would, and a flying battle wagon. Because why not? That is mental, and all the better for it. And here is Gearguts himself, Gearguts the Boss Mark II. A big boy, as you can see. He's got a Space Marine there. The obligatory Primaris Lieutenant in his claw, having the life crushed out of him. Look at the detail on him. Scarred up face, stitches and that. He's got skulls. He's one mean mother in a serious suit of mega armor there. Yeah, badass. Absolutely badass. $60 for him, but he is, like I say, you can see from the scale, he's a big boy. Quad mech. Another cool looking dread. Showing us some more advanced technology. The quad mech stomps and mechanical. It brings its 4 energy cannons to spare on nearby threats. Yeah, I don't know. Does it say what size it is? I don't know whether that is just a Death Dread scaled thing, or whether it's like the other one, like a Mecha Dread. It's got that same look, but it's cool, man. Whether you'd use that as a Death Dread armed with like 4 custom Mega Blasters. Again, you can see the posability there. The way the legs join with the ball and sockets, so you get it striding forward. Nice, good price. We've got the G Transport, which is like a it's basically a battle wagon or a grot mega tank, but on legs. Got a very Howl's Moving Castle to it. Anyone watches the Studio Ghibli movies, it's got a very steampunk vibe going on here. It's just bonkers and mental looking, but yeah, it's very cool, very cool indeed. Various turrets on there, all bristled around it, and yeah, 4 legs. It's a big spider walking thing. It's cool, very cool. More heads, more Warbosses, copters, mech Treadwalker. Let's have a look at this fella. Big thing on tank tracks with big guns and big ass claw. What is this thing? Is it a Gorkanaut? He looks big, man. A counterpart to the mech baby / mech toddler. So no, this is a that's another Stomper, I think. Yeah, 160 quid. It's another Stomper scale miniature, but on tank tracks. He looks very top heavy, man. But look at that claw. Look at this spinning blade, that chain. Whoa. That genuinely looks like it could do some serious damage. Jeez. Yeah, that's an unusual looking variant for a Stomper. We've got a Squig off up here, a fully cybernetic Squig off. They obviously couldn't wait for the snake bites to breed them a decent one. They thought, I can just build one. Yeah, fully mechanised Squig off there. We're skipping a few pages, like I say, guys. We won't go through absolutely everything. Goblin artillery cannon, that's cool. Again, jumps back to the Killer Can designs. Goblin pod walkers. What the hell is that thing? I don't know, but it's cool as fuck. It's got 3 legs. It's grot. It even got the chair inside. Like you see, it's just fucking brilliant. It's stupid looking, but I'm not saying that as a diss. That's not me slagging this miniature off. It looks dumb as hell, and I love it for it. It's just making me laugh. It's cute and stupid, and it sort of looks like a sort of a Dalek kind of the top part, but it just looks like it'd be ungainly, and like it's just so beautifully grot-like. The armoured unit of the Goblin force. The Goblin pod is armed with a single assault gun. So I don't know what you would use this as. A grot tank, maybe? But rather than being tanks, they're walkers. I don't know, but... brilliant, though. Brilliant. Love that. Love that. You've got the Goblin Naught here, another big walker thing. Another big four-legged monstrosity. That's just cool. It looks like it's built so haphazardly. Bits coming off to the side and that, but yeah, very cool. Again, very steampunky aesthetic. I like. More of the grot tanks. I can see the one that I bought. I think I bought option B. Yes, I did. That's the one I got. I switched the turret round on mine. Just because I wanted to add my own personal touch to it, but yeah, cool. It's just lovely, lovely. I can highly recommend, guys. Highly recommend. Oh, you see the variety you get with these. Each one looking a bit different, and you could take the turret from that one and put it on the other one, and you could take the tracks from this body and put it on that body, and then take them tracks and put them on that body. So you could mix it all around and have some real fun with it. But they're really cute, they're really cool. I've got one, I want more, they're awesome, I love them. Yeah, the grot tanks are cool. And as you've got 3 different sets of them, so there's like 12 different grot tanks available that you could mash up together and combine with Forge World grot tanks or Cromlech grot tanks. You could mix and match the parts and get some real good creations. And yeah, I don't know how many variants you could end with, but it would be quite a lot. More Warbosses and stuff. There's good old Scar there. Death Copters. If you don't want to buy the shit GW one, these are cool. Got a very unusual way that the blades go round. Rather than both being on top, they kind of operate independently and intertwine. It looks really dangerous, and like if one of the belts goes or the timing's off for a bit, they're going to just start ripping each other apart, which is really orky. But yeah, that's a cool scout copter. I get far better than what GW are currently offering. There's another version of the Goblin mini tank. See, you could buy this one and then buy the different one. So you've got 2 grot mega tanks, but they look different from each other. It's cool. Gearguts just never stops designing stuff. He is designing stuff constantly, and if you're liking what you're seeing and you want to become part of it and have access to this stuff, and you've got access to a 3D printer, then Rand Gearguts is your man. Get onto his Patreon page. I'll share a link below. Get on that Patreon page and let's have a look at these Hick assault gunners. These look cool. Yeah, badass. They look quite bad moony. They like the Dakar. Got some mean ass looking shotguns, and yeah, cool. This is my boomstick. Good shit. We're going to skip right to page 24. So that we've got some painted, detailed bits here. So yeah, all painted by Gearguts. He uses a really cool method of stippling, so you can paint stuff incredibly fast. He just stipples the paint on in a very rough, haphazard sort of way, but as you can see, they look great. It gets the desired look. They look rough and worn down and ragged, but let's just take a look at it. So here's the mech baby. Look, this is the stomper. I love the way he calls it a baby. You get some pictures here, look, showing all the design of it. Direct from the program he uses where he designs his stuff. So he creates these 3D miniatures and he saves all this stuff in like a toolkit. So he's got like basically like a virtual box of Lego with everything he ever designs. He keeps hold of it and he can put these parts together and play with them, and he just designs this stuff constantly. He lives and breathes this stuff, and like that's why every single month he creates. He doesn't just say like, I'm going to make my version of a killer can and then that's it, killer cans are done now, move on to something else. I mean, he does move on to other stuff, but he says, I think I'll build a killer can. You've already done that, Gearguts. Yeah, it doesn't matter, I'll just make another one that looks slightly different. And that's really cool, because what we always want in our armies and for our hobby and stuff is variety, and it's just really cool when you can get that, and just it's so good. It's just a beast of a thing. The other way he calls it a baby. It's clearly not a baby. It's massive. This is a cool looted tank. Lovely looking tank, that. Look at that. Good stuff. You can see a lot of the lines from like the 3D printing on this. As you can see, we're like on the last page. So this is like we're looking right now at some of the oldest stuff that he's got. And the 3D printing and the design things that he's using, the software and things, is just constantly improving. And the quality of the miniatures is constantly improving. So I know 3D printing a couple of years ago was it was amazing at what it can do, but you got that sort of those lines and stuff, and you would not be able to quite get the detail you could through like plastic and resin. That's changing really fast, and when you compare the stuff that he used to produce to the stuff that he produces now, on the new printers that he's running and stuff, it's night and day, and that's going to continue to improve. And so just keep an eye on Gearguts, because he never ceases. He's constantly improving as he goes. He's constantly making new designs. He's constantly upgrading his software and his hardware and his printing stuff. And he's always on the move and always improving. And so it's something to keep an eye on, because I can only wonder where he's going to be a couple of years from now and what he's going to be producing. I mean, look at some of this stuff. Look at this. The grinder tank. It's yeah, that's... I imagine my response to this is the same as a guardsman facing this down. It's alright, sir, we've got them on the run, and yay for the Emperor and all that, and then they see this thing coming along the battlefield, heading straight for him. Yeah, let's face it, you'd shit your pants, wouldn't you? It's good. A Kaboomer bomber, $220. Look at that fucking... How the fuck is that flying base holding this thing up? Look at that Jeez. There's an Ork boy down there for scale. Look at all the turrets again for scale. You can see like... That's cool though, isn't it, eh? That is seriously cool. Kaboomer bomber. Badass. Just so many vehicles. Vehicles really is Gearguts' strong point. Odd Bruiser, weird boy basically. Where what page are we on? Salvaged Mecca mech. Is that basically a knight or something? Or that's not this again? It's ridiculously huge. Look at it. There's the original Gearguts the boss. So he was already big and brutish looking and nasty, but he's got bigger. Oh, that's cool. Like it's got part of his skull showing. Like he's, yeah, pretty nasty looking bugger. But yeah, so you got two different variants of himself on there. Look at these. This again something. You take these, plonk them in with the rest of your killer cans. They're going to fit right in. Got that iconic look, but just more variation. You know, maybe you've already got the GW killer cans. You want more, but you don't want ones that look too similar. You don't want too many repeats. So you want something that you can mix in with them and are different. They'll mix in really well. Just like I said, there's a lot of stuff. We have looked at about, I don't know, probably not even half of what's on offer here. And there's new stuff being added to it all the time. Probably in the time it takes me to edit this video, upload it to you guys, and you guys to watch it, while you're watching it, there's probably already more stuff on the site. So when you go to the newest, bit, there'll be more there already. But yeah, there you go. But there you go, guys. Gearguts range review. So review. What do I think? Well, I've got some of the Gearguts stuff, including myself. Where did I put myself? Where am I? Here I am. Including myself. I've got this. I've got Grot Tank. I've got other bits. I've got something that I won't spoil yet, but I have got something that I've got for review, and will be coming up on the channel very soon. So stay tuned for that, because it's something very cool from the Gearguts range. So yeah, I like this stuff. I like this stuff a lot. It's another option out there. If you want more variety within your army, you want something different, something unique, something that's going to catch the eye of other people at the gaming club, then check this stuff out. Like I said, compared to Cromlech, Gearguts is quite new on the scene. He's been around a couple of years now, but he's getting more popular all the time, and he's going on to bigger and better things, I think. And you'll want to stay tuned and keep up to date, because moves fast, man, and just such a huge selection of stuff. Pretty much whatever you want, just flip the pages on your codex, stop your codex at random, find a page, find a data sheet, and go, right, see if I can find something else for that. He's going to have it. He's going to have an alternative, and some of them are really cool, as you can see. There's just some bloody awesome stuff. But yeah, there you go, guys. So boom, we'll flip the camera out. So yes, Gearguts, like I said, if you're in the USA, you can order through the Gearguts Mekshop, link in the description below. If you're from Australia, you can go through that store, link in the description below. If you're UK based, then you can go to Fully Cycled and order Gearguts stuff. Or you can sign up to his Patreon, become a patron, and get perks, get discounts, get early access, get STL files. If you own a 3D printer, get your ass on there. You can print this stuff, you can order this stuff. It's cool, it's awesome. It's more variety for the orcs. It's a range that's constantly expanding. Gearguts is a key member of the 40k Ork community, and he interacts with the community on a daily basis, and he is ready to listen. He's ready to take on feedback, and he's ready to design what you want. You're his customers, and he wants to please you, and he wants to make the stuff that you want to buy. So you've got a third-party company out there that is really listening to the community and trying to give them what they want. And so, yeah, get on there, get on the site, buy some stuff, tell him I sent you, and support these awesome third parties, because they are really filling the void that GW are sometimes guilty of leaving. But you are still watching. That means you've made it to the end. That means you want to know about this discount code. This discount code, an exclusive code for me, for my viewers, for the Gearguts Mekshop. Remember, this is USA only. This discount code will only work on the USA store. Australia, UK, I do apologise, but because they're through third-party sites that sell the stuff, you can't get the discount codes for them. But if you want 5% off at Gearguts Mekshop, then simply type in the code Stevo6. It'll be flashing up on the screen now, so you can see exactly how to write it. But yeah, put in Stevo6 at the counter for an exclusive 5% discount, and that'll be running on the site for well, I think indefinitely actually. Gearguts, I said, we put the code up. It's there. It's active now. And we'll leave it active. So I haven't been given a time frame, so whether this is just going to go on forever, I don't know, or whether it's just going to go on for a long time. But yeah, but don't hang about. Don't wait for that. Just get on there now. Get your 5% discount. Tell them 6+ Stevo sent you. Make some purchases, and rub your hands when all this good shit comes through the post or runs off your printer, because there's some good stuff there. But yeah, Gearguts Mekshop gets a thumbs up from Stevo, gets that 6+ seal of approval. So we've ventured well into the waters of third-party companies now, haven't we? We're going to continue this on the next range review. I'm going to look at a company that a lot of you out there probably haven't heard of. It's a lot smaller than the last couple we've looked at, Cromlech and Gearguts. So I probably am going to be a look at their entire range on that video because it's a lot smaller range. But what it lacks in quantity, it more than makes up for in quality. Seriously guys, you're not going to want to miss that one. Join me on the next video as I take a look at For Fun Miniatures. But for now guys, hit like, hit subscribe, ding the bell, get down, check out the links, get on Gearguts Patreon, get on the Gearguts Mekshop, make some purchases, check this stuff out. And yeah, I will see you on the next one guys. This is 6+ Stevo signing out.